Here we go. Hey, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but of course you know me as Pajama Grandma. I am here with Cheryl Leitschuh, the leadership energy guru, and she is going to tell us about her business and a little bit about what she does and why she does it, and then we'll ask her how we can get in touch with her. Welcome, Cheryl. So nice to have you.
Oh, it's so delightful to be here. I love that you're a pajama grandma. I'm a swimsuit grandma. I'm sitting here in my swimsuit.
I wish I was in my swimsuit. It's just not warm enough here in Wisconsin anymore.
I know.
So Cheryl, first off, even before you tell us what you do, I guess I want to know what a leadership energy guru is, because I think that's really interesting. And I think that would be helpful to people that are listening. And then I'll ask you what you do and why you do it.
Okay, perfect. Well, so the leadership energy guru came from, I've had a business for 28 years, mentoring, coaching, and consulting with organizations on leadership development. And a number of my clients said, Cheryl, you're like the Yoda for leadership. So I coined the phrase that I was a leadership energy guru. And I did write a book called The Leadership Energy, Unlocking the Secrets to Your Success. I've since transitioned my business to working with women-owned small businesses as that legacy piece of my life. So I kind of have two businesses. One's decreasing, and one's just sort of offering to the world my knowledge and expertise with having a women-owned small business, which I've done for 28 years. And I've also written a book in that area called Straight Talk for Smart Business Women, Critical Tools to Build and Grow Your Success. So
nice.
Yes.
I'm going to have to get my hands on those and read those books.
I'll send you some. I'll have to get your
marvelous.
address.
I'm a big reader, but the Pajama Grandma has to read with a magnifying glass. I have visual challenges. So I'm not as avid a reader as I used to be. I still read every day, but when my eyes get tired, because I can only see out of one, I should be a pirate. Yesterday was Talk Like a Pirate Day or something. I should have been talking like a pirate. Getting off topic. So we know a little bit about what you do. So tell us why you do it, how you got involved in it. Why did you decide to be a business coach and author?
So it all kind of emerged for me. So many years ago, when I had young kids, my husband was relocated, and I needed a portable business because he and I actually worked for the same company, but he was promoted, and they kind of said to me, well, I guess you get a choice of staying or not staying. Well, we weren't going to have a long distance relationship, not with two kids.
No.
So I knew I needed a portable business, and my husband was working a bajillion hours. So I wanted a flexible business. And the only way I could do that was to not stay in the corporate world, but to move into my own business. So I created it 30 years ago out of family values and family needs. I loved mentoring and coaching people when I was in the corporate world. So I decided, well, there must be something to this. I think I'll go off and get some degrees and figure out what this is all about. So I do have a doctorate in psychology, and then my husband was relocated back to the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. So I decided to start knocking on doors and talking about what is now the coaching model. But in the 1980s, coaching was not a term on the radar screen for corporations, more for sports teams, but not for corporations. So I had more guts and brains. I just started knocking on doors, and eventually I had some companies say, yeah, come on in, let's try out what you're talking about. And the rest is history. The whole book thing just kind of came. I love to write. And over time, I had my own ways of dealing with corporate folks. So I decided to put it in a book, and it took off as a book. And I was very pleased with that, as well as the success that I've had with the corporate coaching and consulting business.
Fascinating. I got away from corporate America and I never went back, but I probably should, because they could use some help, I think.
Yes.
Not necessarily from a leadership standpoint, but I was a quality and systems type person. So yeah, it doesn't seem like they're all improving that much these days, but that could just be an outside view looking in.
Well, but I don't know about you, but I interview a lot of women who have decided to go into becoming an entrepreneur because they got tired of the corporate world, and they just kind of felt stuck and stagnant in the corporate world. And then they launched off to do their own thing.
I loved my corporate career, but I always had businesses on the side. And by about my third or fourth layoff, I was like, okay, really? I think I was 40. And I'm like, am I going to really go do this again, start over in a whole new career, a whole new industry, all new people? And I liked doing it, but I was like, should I be doing that or should I be building something for myself and my family? And myself and family won. So that's
same here. Same here. We share kind of the same journey, but at different ages in our life when that was awakened. And you know, so that's
way sooner than I did. That's what I find happens to everybody.
But you know, it's been interesting because in the last 5 years, I've had a lot of women-owned small businesses coming to me saying, Cheryl, it looks like you've been doing something right. You've been around for a long time and you kind of have a nice lifestyle. So how can you help me? So that's when I actually didn't choose to become a mentor to small businesses. They just started showing up and that path started opening for me. And now I'm at that grandma stage of my life where I want the flexibility to be with the grandkids. And I don't need to make the money per se that I did in my other business. So I've slowly begun to decrease that piece and move into what I'm calling the legacy piece of my life. And that is about supporting other women to have the same success and understand you have to have a bit of courage to start your business, as I'm sure you've found, Sharon, but you also have a passion. There's a reason that you need to open that door. And if I can support other women to do that, it just makes life so much beautiful for them and for me. It's a win-win.
That's amazing. So do you do mostly one-on-one coaching or do you do any group coaching for people?
Yeah, so last summer I wrote the book Straight Talk for Smart Business Women. That came off of my podcast. So I've been doing a podcast for almost 3 years.
Wow.
Just listening to the wisdom from other women-owned small businesses. And from that came a book. So, you know, the path just sort of opens for you. In December, I launched the Straight Talk Training Academy, which is straighttalktraining.com. So it's online courses because women who are just starting their business or maybe struggling with their business, they don't have a lot of money. So I decided I'm going to create a venue where they can get access to information at a reasonable price, so they're not mortgaging the house to do it. So there's several online courses. I've just started a mastermind group, which is a group coaching. And I do take on a few individuals that I mentor, but I just don't have the time, right? I'm building all this so I have the freedom and flexibility to travel and to spend time with grandchildren. So I'm there mostly through email, but in the mastermind group, they'll be able to get live time with me as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm kind of following that same model. I probably shouldn't say that, but I am too. I did a lot of one-on-one coaching and corporate coaching. And I'm like, I just want to be able to hang out in my pajamas and hang out with my grandkids if I can, and my kids, because they're getting older. So yeah, I'm definitely working on the online group coaching type thing. And I've got a mastermind too for a group.
Yeah. Oh, good for you.
Mostly men, though. I don't know why. I want to work with women, and it seems like my whole career has been mostly with men, and so it's like, what the heck? I'll figure it out. Maybe you can relate to me because I'm a little too in your face sometimes about, maybe you should think about that.
Most of my work in the corporate world was with professional service firms so a lot of men, lawyers, CPAs, you have to be in their face, right?
They'll never listen to you otherwise. Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right. So, but I love that you're creating the online venue too, because I think, there's so many people who need the kinds of things that we do. The right people will show up to your tribe and the right people will show up to mine.
Absolutely. I'm actually putting together a summit. So I might hit you up to be on the leadership part of that summit.
I would love it.
That would be amazing, I think.
Yeah, I would love it.
All right, I'm going to pencil you into that.
So for the listeners, this is exactly how the world works. You connect with people and new ideas spring forward. And if you're not fearful, if you're not thinking, oh my gosh, she might be doing something I'm doing, guess what? All kinds of new possibilities come up that makes a win-win, and we support everybody in this world. So people say to me, why are you sharing all of this stuff? Aren't you creating competition for yourself? I don't care. The right people will show up, and the right people will need to be served. And to me, that's part of that leadership energy as well, right?
Absolutely.
We are a guru to the people who need us, and those that need other resources will find other folks to connect with.
Absolutely. I remember when I was younger, I used to believe that competition was a big deal and a thing. And then as I got older and went through my career, I realized that the only competition is yourself and what you want to create, because there's 8 billion people on the planet. You know, none of us could possibly serve even all the people we could imagine. So there's so much to go around, and it's frustrating sometimes because the world is so inundated with scarcity and lack mentality. And we live in such an abundant universe and planet, and this country for sure is just limited only by your imagination. So I share everything, probably too much, but I share everything with people. And I have free resources that people could go to my group and my page, and they could learn how to do everything I teach them, except people won't take the time to go do that usually. So that's why you can put it all out there. It's because everybody, you know, the few people that will do it and can relate to me will be attracted to me. And there's a lot of people that aren't attracted to the pajama grandma, but would love to work with the swimsuit grandma.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm starting to get creative. I used to love to be creative when I was younger, and corporate America and business ownership kind of beats it out of you. And you just you have to do to get by. And it's like, I miss being creative and having fun. So
well, and you do reach a point where if I'm not having fun, I'm going to go do something else.
Absolutely. Well, Cheryl, I'm so excited that you could spend a few minutes with us today. And I seriously am going to hit you up for that summit, because I want to have some amazing people on there that other people just wouldn't come across necessarily otherwise.
Oh, wonderful. I'd love it.
All right.
I'd love it.
Well, you have an amazing day. Go enjoy the weather and the pool. I am a little jealous, I think. Any parting words for us of wisdom for the women or people that are working on building their business and they just, hit one of those roadblocks and they're not sure how to get over it?
I just keep moving forward. I mean, I think that's the challenge of being an entrepreneur. Yes, you're out there, you're vulnerable, and the world is it's you, right? So the more you can just keep moving forward and find the people who will support you. You want those confidants who are going to confidants who are going to support you and cheer with you and keep nudging you forward and keep you from getting off track. So I always end my podcast by saying, keep growing your business. And that's what I'll leave you with. Keep growing your business.
Well, you too. And we will be chatting soon. Thank you so much for joining me.